Hi, I'm Jerry Goldman. I'm your attorney. I'm here to speak to you about developments in the case. I tried to record this video a couple of days ago, but too many things have happened before we were ready to release it. So I'm trying to bring you as much current information as I'm allowed to discuss with you. I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about Iran and the VSST, and I want to talk about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Iran and the VSST. July 1st is a deadline for filing VSST applications. For all of you who have served judgments and we have the necessary information, we have filed motions on your behalf to get a judgment. We are hopeful that the court acts on all of them. All the law firms have flooded the courts with a bunch of motions for judgments in the last month, and the court is acting on them. We still have, as of today, which is Tuesday, about 6 more to be decided, but the overwhelming bulk of them have been decided. Courts asked us for some more information on certain people. We've gotten that to them last week, and ourselves and our colleagues at Motley and Crime provided the court with a list of all the open motions. We will keep you advised as to the status of the same. All those people with motions, all of you with motions, have received draft VSST applications. Most of you have responded with any comments and what have you, and those have been incorporated into the applications. Those applications are ready to be filed instantaneously. Another batch is going to be filed today or tomorrow for the decisions we received late last week from the court. Our team of attorneys have the necessary documents for service ready, and those are being filed with the court on a rolling basis as we get judgments. Some of you have asked, what do you need to do? First, don't send a draft application into the VSST. All that does is confuse them. We're filing the applications on your behalf. Second, if it's in a state, notices to claimants will be going out and notices to beneficiaries will be going out this week. Some people still owe us information. We'll be filing those VSST applications without that information. Your payment can and will be delayed and could be denied if we don't get that information. We've contacted those who are missing information several times. We're going to contact them again. If we haven't contacted you, it means we have everything. The only thing you will need to do is keep us informed as to changes of address, telephone numbers, name changes. If somebody passes away, let us know. For the estates, over the next couple of months, we'll be sending out what are called PDP plans. Please complete those immediately. If you don't, it will just delay your payment. We expect the payments as of now to be in the first quarter of 25. We expect the payments to be in the vicinity of at least $940 million combined both sides of the VSST, which means roughly $570 million at least for the 9/11 victims, which is a little bit more than 9 times what the fourth round was. There will be more applicants in the VSST, but I don't think it's going to be a big number, but that will dilute it so you can't simply do the math of 9 times the last check. We'll have that information as to the number of approved, which are called eligible claims, sometime in the fall. Many of you who are new to the fifth round have received eligibility letters. Those whose applications we're filing this week should receive them over the next couple of weeks, or we'll be asking you for additional information to respond to inquiries by the VSSD. I use the word "at least." There are a couple of variables that could change it. A significant source of funding for this round was the fines and forfeitures from a company called Binance, which was laundering money for Iran. Some additional funds we believe are due if they come by September 30th, or from other fines or forfeitures, they'll be added to the fund. If you recall, back in 22, when the legislation was passed that funded the LSCOP, there was also what was called the reserve or cotton money. We estimated that for both sides of the VSST, it would be about $2 billion. There is a chance that that number increases, but we're still waiting for that number to be settled. If that is resolved quickly, there is a chance those monies would be added to the distribution in the first quarter. Otherwise, those monies should be available in 2026. Last variable is the fund-to-fund legislation. Many of you have taken steps that we have asked you to do to help get passage of that legislation. Getting legislation passed in Washington is extremely tough. It is tougher in an election year, and it's even tougher in today's political climate. If it involves the expenditure of money, it doesn't pass right now. We're working on presenting this as a package that doesn't cost any new money, will cause greater transparency for all of you, take away some of the discretion by the Department of Justice, which has reduced some of the funding. They don't like it. We think you deserve it, and the other victims of terrorism. And we think it will provide more consistency in funding. Will it pass? I don't think it's going to pass before the end of this month. Will it pass in a lame duck session? I think there's a good chance, as long as we stay unified and we stay on point. Some of you filed suit recently. Those will be identified in the newsletter. Those cases still do not have perfected service, so you will not be in the fifth round. As I told you when you were retained, or my team told you when you were retained, and it's in all of our cover letters, it takes a long time to serve Iran. We don't have diplomatic relations. We have to attempt to serve by mail. After we attempt to serve by mail, we have to send translated copies to the State Department, which has to send it to its embassy in Bern, Switzerland, which sends it to the Swiss Foreign Ministry, which sends it down to their embassy in Tehran to serve it. And then the process goes back, all the way back to Washington. It takes a long time. This whole filing suit and service, a year is not unreasonable in this. Occasionally we've been a little quicker, sometimes it's a little slower. And then Iran has 60 days to respond, and only then can we seek to get a default judgment. I'm pretty confident all of the new cases will go into the sixth round. No guarantees, but I'm pretty confident. If you were in the third round, and I want to repeat this, because we get a lot of calls like this. If you were in the third round, or if you're in the fourth round, again, you do not have to do anything unless there's a change in status. A couple of you are new, literally have just retained us within the last couple of weeks. I expect a complaint to be filed and service to start within the next 30 days. So I think that was pretty good news. I may have better news. This case against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has been cloaked in unnecessary secrecy. The executive branch, I don't care who the president was, has never been a fan of this. The Department of Justice, the State Department, they have not been fans of this. I don't care if it was President Bush or Obama or Trump, not fans. They kept documents secret from the 9/11 Commission. They kept information secret from the 9/11 Commission. They kept it secret from you and the rest of the American people. We've been battling that secrecy. A couple of years ago, President Biden released a limited set of documents. Those are the executive order documents. We got them after we did the depositions of the kingdom, so we didn't have them to cross-examine. But we have them. But we couldn't share them with you. We couldn't even share them with many of the attorneys on this case. That doesn't make sense. That's not how our system of justice is designed. Well, presently, we're at what's called the dispositive motion stage. We have a motion to dismiss that's going to be argued, I think, on July 10th in federal court in Manhattan. We'll be updating this newsletter very shortly with information on that hearing. We've asked to put it off. We've asked to put it off because we believe you and the public are entitled to see the evidence. Now, some more of it's been released recently, and I'll have links in the newsletter that's going out. It has links to our briefs, and you can see what we have alleged in summary form. But I think you're and the American public are entitled to see our factual averments, and those are not yet public. You and the American public should be able to look at the exhibits themselves, so you can see what we have obtained, and what we have obtained shows, in my belief, liability on the part of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. No ands, ifs, or buts. I reported a couple of months ago that the court didn't allow us to use what I believe to be an easier and cleaner theory, secondary liability, to tie in the charities. Okay, I'll take that up on appeal if I need it. Or, if we stay unified, we'll get the EJVTA passed to allow us to use legal tools to help all of you. But without that, we have liability, in my belief. And I want you to see that evidence. I want the American public to see that evidence. Some of that evidence was not shown to the 9/11 Commission. Last week, CBS News, 60 Minutes precisely, had a special insert Thursday night. The link to it is here. See it. Watch it. We obtained a video from the Metropolitan Police Service, New Scotland Yard. They seized that video from Omar Bayoumi in September 2001. Mr. Bayoumi, we have alleged, and the FBI documents corroborate, was an agent of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He worked for them. We believe, and we believe the evidence supports, he provided material help to two of the hijackers in Southern California starting in 2000. Material help, material support by an agent of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on American soil that cost you the lives of your loved ones. There was a video that he made in 1999 when Al-Qaeda was selecting the targets. Where would they strike? And it's a casing video. He's going around with his video camera speaking to the brothers about the plan and filming targets. He concentrates on the Capitol building, which we believe was going to be the fourth target. He gets the security cameras, the security guards, the entrances and the exits. It's chilling. We got some coverage on that, picked up by Politico, picked up by a number of news sites over the weekend. Mike Morrell, the former number 2 guy at the Central Intelligence Agency, on Sunday morning on Face the Nation said he had never seen the video. He claims the CIA was never given to it by the FBI. Scotland Yard says they gave it to the FBI. Did the FBI not understand what it was? Perhaps. Did they lose it in the crisis of September 2001? Perhaps. But the CIA says they never got it. And the number 2 guy at the CIA says this was a casing video consistent with the MO of Al-Qaeda. And he said that on national television. On the 60 Minutes piece, there were 2 other experts, former FBI agents, who said the same thing. This is not a home video of a trip to Washington. I don't know why it took so long for us to get it. We got it in November. I filed this suit against Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in March of 2004. There are other things that we got that we're allowed to share. And over the next coming days, we'll be sharing some more. Thank you.